All right, folks, welcome back to the Crisis Report. This will be the second time that I've done this, so I'm going to do it again, exactly as I did the first time. Hopefully, this will happen and be okay. And I really appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. Um, yeah, all I can say is, yeah, it is what it is. So, friends, keep helping support the channel and everything. And we are going to just do what we do. Okay. We don't stop. Let me put my glasses on. I didn't have my glasses last time, but we don't stop. We keep moving, we keep grooving, and we don't stop. So, with a successful load of this, I'll take down the other video asking the question why my first live stream was taken down. It was. I'm not stupid. I've been here 5 years. I know how things go. I went in to do what I do, and it just disappeared. Really weird. So I emailed and said, "Hey, what's going on with this?" And yeah, they said it was removed by the uploader. I did not remove it myself, and that's what has happened with that. So I appreciate you all coming back. I had a big meeting with a sponsor, and I told them no matter what, the show goes on, and I will keep going. I said I rarely miss, rarely. Now I took off a day for Fourth of July, but I'm going to keep going. So join the secret channel, join over to Rumble. The PrepperNow crisis report train will not stop, no matter what. And the little petty BS that goes on will continue to go on. Those people will eventually lose and they will eventually go away. And it is what it is. So put the glasses on. I appreciate you being here. And let's get ready for your crisis report for July 5th, 2025. Here we go. Japanese manga author Ryo Tatsuki predicts a devastating earthquake and tsunami to happen in Japan in July. Viral prediction is resulting in a drop in tourism bookings to the country. Tatsuki has been credited with predicting other events, including 2011's Tohoku earthquake. Golden Pass LNG, owned by Qatar Energy and ExxonMobil, asks U.S. regulators for permission to re-export LNG from 1st of October. Stellantis warns that strict EU net zero penalties could shut down factories across Europe unless EV sales double or gas and diesel car production is significantly reduced. Indian state faces backlash from Hindu and Muslim organizations for introducing Zumba dance classes in public schools to combat drug use, saying Zumba contradicts Indian moral values as it requires students to wear tight clothing and dance closely together. This should not be accepted. Public outdoor pool in Germany. Buren now has posters warning against white women with red hair grabbing the buttocks of boys with dark skin and prosthetic legs. This is an actual public outdoor pool warning. And for whatever reason, they're saying that you need to be aware of white women with red hair. They're the big problem. And the guy in the picture has a prosthetic leg. I don't even know what to tell you about this picture. It's extremely strange, but evidently, just in general, in pools, you guys in Germany, you need to be careful, whoever you are. Russia completes its first stage of the Kalashnikov cartridge plant in Venezuela with the capacity to produce 70 million 7.62 millimeter cartridges annually. United States adds 147,000 jobs in June, beating expectations. April and May were revised up by a combined 16,000. Man attacks multiple passengers on high-speed train with an axe and a hammer in Bavaria, Germany. Several passengers overpowered and severely injured the attacker. Good. Syrian National Police detained him. He was supposedly on drugs, but he's your typical new neighbor. U.S. Department of State Tammy Bruce says America is ready for potential 4th of July Iranian terror attacks over the weekend. Good to know that they are ready. Hopefully nothing happens. So far, so good. BRICS is going to launch investment fund for member states managed by China's new development bank to rival the World Bank. And that was a big story yesterday. Minority Leader Jeffries finished an 8-hour, 44-minute filibuster stunt to delay Trump's big, beautiful bill. It didn't stop it. He broke the House record for longest floor speech. And if you really want to torture someone, get a recording of that and have them listen to it repeatedly. They will want to. They will spill the beans, talk, whatever you need them to do. It is an excellent use as a device for such things. Trump's big, beautiful bill passed House 218-214, signed the bill yesterday at 5 p.m. U.S. Presidential Nuclear Command, Control, and Communications Satellite contract was awarded to Boeing for $2.9 billion. Saudi Defense Minister Prince Khalid bin Salman met secretly with Trump to discuss de-escalation with Iran. United Kingdom's NHS launched its health plan to transform its app by 2028 into a digital health coach, offering same-day GP appointments using AI genomic testing for over 40s to predict and prevent illnesses, wearable devices for health monitoring, and digital points scheme to reward healthy behaviors. Starmer says the app will become the doctor in my pocket and an indispensable part of life. I have no problem with the things like that basically help people make them more healthy. Microsoft is laying off 9,000 employees, but has already requested 14,181 new H-1B visa workers so far this year because they don't want to pay regular workers and natives what they're worth. Israel used a 500-pound bomb, a powerful, indiscriminate weapon that scattered shrapnel when it attacked a crowded Gaza cafe and slaughtered dozens, according to The Guardian. Russia has officially recognized the Taliban-led government in Afghanistan, becoming the first country to do so since 2021 when they took power. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi says we won't allow Russia to lose in Ukraine. China's Foreign Ministry, Wang Yi, told the EU's Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas that Beijing can't allow a Russian defeat in Ukraine, so that could shift full U.S. focus onto China, South China Morning Post reports. He also denied China is aiding Russia's war efforts in Ukraine, claiming if that was the case, the conflict would have ended a long time ago. We know that they're helping in certain ways in the background. They're doing what they're doing. But yeah, it's they don't want to be the ones messed with. They want to be able to move unimpeded and get ready for the big show, which is coming here pretty soon. Pretty soon. The big show with China is going to happen. Russia massively bombed Kiev. Large fires and smoke cover Kiev, Ukraine, after 3.5 hours of sustained Russian drone and missile strikes. Reportedly, 18 ballistic missiles and 50-plus drones hit the city. It seems likely that there was a phone call between Putin and Trump on July 3rd. Took place at 10 a.m., lasted nearly an hour, and research suggests the discussion focused on Ukraine and Iran. Taliban flag was raised over the Afghan embassy in Moscow. Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced Russia will officially recognize Taliban government in Afghanistan, and they have done so. Polish government has allocated $662 million for infrastructure development and increased production of artillery ammunition, especially the 155 millimeter caliber bullets. Department of Justice is taking the denaturalization process seriously for potential New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani. Deportation now on the table as a possible outcome. Former FBI Director Christopher Wray has been referred for criminal prosecution by the Oversight Project which claims in a new report that he lied to Congress about voter issues in 2020 and provided false testimony. Planned Parenthood is on track to lose nearly $1 billion in taxpayer funding, close to 200 facilities at risk of shutting down. Just check. Oh, all right. We're still live and going. U.S. plans nuclear talks with Iran in Oslo next week. Axios. NVIDIA is on track to become the most valuable company in history, with the chip maker's market capitalization reaching $3.92 trillion as Wall Street doubled down on optimism about AI, according to Reuters. Michael Madsen, famous for his roles in Kill Bill, Reservoir Dogs, and Donnie Brasco, is dead. Are you gonna bark, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite? Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. arrested by United States immigration authorities. Supreme Court has cleared Trump to deport immigrants to the South Sudan. You do not want to go to South Sudan under any reasons. That's be terrible. You come all the way up here and they take you from you go from a third world country to America to South Sudan. That is a move backwards. 200 Marines are headed to Florida to support immigration enforcement operations at the alligator Alcatraz. You guys have heard of the Rock? This is the Croc. Zohran Mamdani, Democratic nominee, selected multiple racial categories because he lied when applying to Columbia University, according to internal data obtained from a hack of the university and shared with the New York Times. He identified himself as both Asian and Black or African American. Liar. Several air traffic control towers across Canada, Montreal, Ottawa, Calgary, Vancouver, Edmonton, Winnipeg, evacuated over multiple threats of incendiary devices. U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, reported ground stops in Montreal and Ottawa international airports, halting all departing flights until at least 8:45 a.m. Full impact on airport terminals is unclear, and yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to see where all that goes. Hamas agreed to a 2-month ceasefire in Gaza, according to Ashar al-Assad. Now that is true, but not true. I'll have more on that here in a moment. New study in Europe finds that Gen Z Europeans are losing their faith in democracy. I wonder why. Migration is a top concern, particularly in Poland and Spain, and there is a striking gender divide, seeing young women who have gone basically crazy, increasingly progressive, and young men shifting more conservative. Women prioritizing equality and climate, men focusing on real problems like migration. French police adopt a new tactic to stop migrant boats crossing the channel by puncturing their dinghies within 300 meters of the shore. This new strategy will be discussed at the upcoming Anglo-French summit during Macron's UK visit. What you do is you pick them up and you return them. Slashing their dinghy and potentially putting them into harm's way is not smart. It's just stupid. Many gangsters in Latin America are worried that cocaine may become less profitable, so they are piling into the illegal gold market. Two criminal activities complement each other. That's according to The Economist. Ukraine's stockpile of American missiles will last until the end of summer, after which the situation will become critical. French anti-terrorism task force targeted incels for promoting, of all things, the terror of masculinism and outmoded gender roles like, say, a man and a woman. There's a lot of problems going on in France. I saw it firsthand. I'm glad I saw France, but I won't be going back. Majority of Americans want all illegal support. That's right. It's 6 out of 10 or 3 out of 5. 60% roughly want people to come here with good intentions and legally. B-2 stealth bombers that struck Iran performed a flyover above the White House yesterday on Independence Day. Trump signed his big, beautiful bill into law, and Speaker Johnson gave him the gavel to bang. At least 25 dead and over 237 rescued in a massive flash flooding event in Texas. This is a terrible story. Over 20 girls at a summer camp were caught in the floods. Search and rescue still underway. A 22-foot, 6.7-meter water rise occurred in about 2 hours, and another rain gauge failed after recording 29.5 feet or 9 meters. An Israeli Special Forces unit conducted a 5-hour air raid in the town of Yarfur, approximately 10 kilometers from the Syrian capital of Damascus. 3 Israeli helicopters landed in the area, and the forces raided a site that was previously affiliated with the Syrian Republican Guard under the former government. Following the operation, the commandos withdrew from the area aboard the same helicopters. Major power outage hit the Czech Republic. Large parts of the Czech Republic, including Prague and Liberec, are without power. CTK reported, citing grid operator CEPS, outage has halted public transport, trapped people in elevators. The cause remains unknown, and technicians are urgently working to restore the power. I'm pretty sure they have it back by now, but this is just a terrible situation showing, yeah. Polish media reports that the consular section of Poland's embassy in Kiev was hit by the Russian airstrike. That could be a major problem. During the Islamic Friday prayers in Tehran, capital of Iran, Ayatollah Ahmad Khatami, Imam leading the prayer, said in today's sermon that, according to his interpretation of Islamic law, United States President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu should be executed, according to him. Ayatollah Khatami is also an Islamic Republican Guard Council and Assembly of Experts member. Microsoft suspended 3,000 Outlook and Hotmail accounts used by North Korean IT operatives in global fraud scheme. Hamas released a statement regarding its response to the hostage and ceasefire deal proposal. Hamas has completed its internal consultation with the Palestinians, factions, and forces regarding the mediators' latest proposal to stop the aggression against our people in Gaza. Movement delivered the response to the mediator brothers, which was positive. Movement is seriously ready to immediately enter into a round of negotiations on the mechanism for implementing this framework. President Trump has officially signed the big, beautiful bill into law. It has no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, and tax deductions on auto loan interest for vehicles that are made in America. Proud to be an American. At least you buy a Chevy, a truck, or a Ford. Drive on and get that thing. All right, I'll stop. Yep. Everybody, what's up, Sway? Nothing stops. Nothing stops. No, Timothy, I didn't find it. It got completely taken away. I'm doing it all again. So, and guess what? I'm recording this. So if that gets taken down, I'm going to do it again. And I'll keep doing it, and I'll keep doing it, and I'll keep doing it, and I'll keep doing it. New law in Tennessee makes it a felony for landlords to rent housing on illegal immigrants. Violators facing criminal charges and fines under the legislation. Elon Musk says he may target 2 to 3 Senate seats and up to 8 to 10 House races through a new political party he wants to call the America Party. I don't think it'll go anywhere. Multiple 4th of July celebrations in Los Angeles have been canceled due to concerns about potential ICE raids. Now, this is where I think I got in trouble. I mentioned the star of the Terminator, a guy by the name of Arnold and I said his last name, and the end of his last name could maybe trick the AI into thinking I did something very bad. So I'm going to say this like I did the first time, but I'm not going to use his last name, okay? Arnold, former California governor, July 4th message for immigrants telling them to pump up and stop whining and get them a green card of citizenship. He called them little pansy people because they are weak. They need a green card and to do things legally, like everyone else does legally. Oh, I hate this one. Bill Gates has seen most of his net worth drop by $52 billion. That's a third of his total fortune. And yeah, he's had a recent financial assessment. Here's an idea, Bill. Take the money you leave or have left, go and find a planet and buy it and fly there and stay there. Nobody wants you here. Joy Reid claims Stephen Miller has implemented a deportation quota targeting 3,000 brown people a day. I have bad news for her. There are other people that are not that color, even though everything about her is race, which says she's basically a arcist. There are numerous people from all over. There's people from the, Eastern Europe. There's people from Asia that aren't this color. They're just, skin color doesn't really play into it. What they're doing with all these is they're getting rid of people that shouldn't be here illegally. And it doesn't matter what their skin color is. It matters their legal status. Okay? U.S. government is planning to breed billions of flies and to release them from planes over Mexico and southern Texas in an effort to combat a flesh-eating maggot infestation. Ugh. I think a lot of people are going to be joining the Abraham Accords. We have 4 great countries already, but we're going to have a lot of people joining the Abraham Accords, according to Trump. Peruvian President Dina Boluarte plans to double her monthly salary to about $10,000. Her approval ratings are somewhere between 2 and 4% because she's your typical corrupt politician from Latin America. Israeli Defense Minister Katz says Israel is preparing to formulate air and military enforcement against Iranian attempts to restore its nuclear and missile programs. Over 83,000 suspected cholera cases and 2,100 deaths in Sudan since July 2024, including 32,000 cases in 2025 alone. Very bad place to be. Trump's envoy, Wyckoff, wants to lift energy sanctions on Russia. IAEA has pulled its inspectors out of Iran over safety concerns. Hegseth has halted weapons deliveries to Ukraine, despite military analysis that the aid wouldn't jeopardize U.S. readiness. The decision was made by Hegseth without notifying lawmakers. Trump told Zelensky he wants to help with Ukraine's air defense and that he will check what was put on hold, if anything. Trump also said he was aware of the recent Russia escalation, including both airstrikes on Ukrainian cities and on the front line. Zuckerberg, lizard that he is, crashed classified F-47 fighter jet briefing. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg unexpectedly entered a highly classified Oval Office meeting about the U.S. Air Force's next-gen stealth jet, the F-47. Zuckerberg lacked the necessary security clearance, alarming military officials who were reportedly mystified and unnerved by the breach. Some reports claim White House staff asked him to leave, while the White House later denied this, saying he was briefly invited by Trump before stepping out to wait for a scheduled meeting. Andrei Badalov, vice president, Russia's state oil pipeline Transneft. He died. He fell from a 17th floor balcony. Poor guy. I guess he's got bad, equilibrium. Problem is he lives on the 10th floor. I don't know. Maybe he's visiting a friend. Tesla deliveries dropped again. Sales slid for a second year. Tesla delivered 384,122 vehicles quarter 2 2025, down 13.5% year over year, missing analysts' expectations. It's on track for a second straight annual sales decline and weak demand on aging lineup. Backlash over his politics. Sales fell sharply in Europe, and the U.S. stock is down 25% in 2025. Briefly lost $150 billion in value after the public split with Trump. He hasn't been being quiet about the whole big beautiful bill thing. I don't know. There's part of me thinks sometimes they're just doing this all for show. President Trump stunningly announced that there would be a UFC fight, speaking of which, up to 25,000 spectators on the White House on their front lawn within the next year to celebrate America's upcoming 250th anniversary or birthday. UFC confirmed it, and Trump's plan to hold it on the White House 2026. According to Fox News and reliable sources, Putin has rejected Trump's request to end the war in Ukraine. Phone call took place on July 3rd, during which Putin set specific conditions for ending the conflict. These conditions include the withdrawal of Ukrainian forces from Russian-occupied territories, Ukraine not joining NATO, and the reduction of the Ukrainian military. These demands have been rejected by Kiev. Following the call, Russian missile and drone attacks on Kiev intensified, with multiple explosions reported in the Ukrainian capital, indicating that the conflict continues. Japan's government on Saturday warned of more possible strong earthquakes in waters southwest of its main islands, according to Reuters. President Donald Trump said that he had signed 12 trade letters to be sent out next week ahead of an impending deadline for his tariffs to take effect. Elon Musk said that Bannon is a fat, drunken slob and will go back to prison, and this time for a long time. He has a lifetime of crime to pay for. I don't know what his big beef is with Bannon, but he didn't like him. First, U.S. academics fleeing Trump policies have arrived in France. Idiots. 8 American researchers have joined France's Safe Place, good luck in the public, for science program at Marseille University, fleeing fears of funding cuts and political pressure from Trump's leadership. University President Eric Beton compared the exodus of the flight of scholars to Germany, calling the official scientific refugee status. Paperclip. Most applicants requested anonymity, fearing backlash if offers fall through. One climate scientist said, "We work in areas that are being targeted. Our future of the United States is uncertain. He's a threat to our democracy. Germany is preparing to introduce a voluntary 6-month military service scheme to boost its reserve forces and strengthen national defense. Good luck with that. You're going to have to go draft them. Plan driven by, and most of them are worthless anyway. Plan driven by growing concerns over Russia aims to attract recruits for basic roles like guard duties with the option of a draft if too few volunteer. Defense Minister Boris Pistorius hopes to grow the armed forces from 180,000 to 260,000 troops and double the current 100,000 reservists. Pistorius wants to have the legislation passed by the end of next month, with the first recruits to start training May 2026. Good luck with that. No one's going to sign up for it. You're going to have to draft them. All right. Well, I had a comment. Nope. There it is. Here we go. This is the addendum. Tensions rise over the Nile. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, or GERD, has sparked a geopolitical standoff along the Nile River, with Egypt viewing it as a serious existential threat and Ethiopia defending it as a vital development project. Egypt depends on the Nile for 97% of its freshwater needs. Water deficit nears 40 BCM a year, well below UN poverty threshold. Reduced flow risks $1.8 billion of damage per BCM lost. Farmland impact is severe. So, not good. Oh, wait, there we go. Sorry. German Chancellor Merz, Russia is already attacking us today. Infrastructure, we have attacks, arson attacks. What has also happened in barracks here in recent days? Trails almost all lead to Russia. They're getting ready for war. Okay? Now, if you remember a few years ago, I think it was Amazon, they asked Alexis when WW3 would happen. She said it would be happening between Germany and Russia in 2025 in November, if I are correct. So you got about 4 months if they're correct. Just saying. Israel has decided to send a negotiating delegation to Qatar. Negotiating delegation will likely head to Qatar tomorrow. Source, Israeli Channel 12. Trump on Ukraine. We've been helping them and will continue to help them. I told you I was very unhappy with my call with Putin. It seems like he wants to go all the way and just keep killing people. No good. It's not good. I wasn't happy with him. And ending it is Russia's Medvedev, who said NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte should learn Russian. It might come in handy in a Siberian camp. So, yeah. Yeah. So that, my friends, yeah. Yeah, who is going to sign up, Kat? I don't think anyone will. That, my friends, is take two, okay? So I'm going to load this up, and I have also recorded it. And if anything happens, I'm just going to keep loading it. I'm going to load it and load it and load it and load it. And I'm going to load it to Rumble. I might even load it to PrepperNow. I'm going to load it everywhere. Okay? We don't stop because a couple of buttheads have controls of the levers of their little tiny, minute little power right now. So, grow up. God bless. See you on the next one.